Hello everyone and welcome back to the Promotion on a Budget podcast. I'm kind of cold and I'm feeling frozen just like Sheffield Wednesday's pitch was yesterday, which is why Swansea couldn't play this weekend. And Swansea, talking about Swansea, they are having a brilliant season, and I think one of the standout players in that team joined in January, but has kind of been that resurgence for them to kind of push them towards that automatic promotion spot, and that is Conor Hourihane. Josh, how exciting has he been for Swansea fans?
Wow. I watched his goal against you a fair few times just to really, really enjoy how close your bet is to being lost. And that man has done me so many favours. But away from all of our personal matters and debates and things that we've spoken about in previous podcasts, let's talk about the here, the now. This Swansea side, wow. Like you said, Conor Hourihane has been a little spark of brilliance in that team since he's come in. I mean, I look at their league form. They've not lost a game since the middle of December. This is now the middle of February. They've not lost a game in 2 months in the league. Wow.
Yeah, that's something.
I mean, obviously, we've just spoken about Brentford and how in episode 2, if you haven't seen that, go and check them out, and how they managed to string together a very, very impressive unbeaten run. The way Swansea are going, they're looking to try and do something the same. Going 2 months unbeaten is a very hard thing to do, especially some of the people that they played in that time. They went down to 10 men against a team like Brentford, and they held on for a draw at home. They obviously notably recently beat Norwich. They've just been knocked out of the cup, but they did very well in that sense as well. But all things considered, Swansea again are kind of that team that you look at them from last season. They finished in the playoffs, but they were very up and down. It was one of the teams that was kind of, they had very big potential to be up there this season, but they were never going to be a guarantee. But again, they've managed to hold on to players like Conor Hourihane. And like we said, they brought in talent such as Conor Hourihane. You've got to look at them in the here and now, and they are a very, very, very good outfit.
Yeah, I think another player that's kind of stood out is Connor Roberts, a fullback. He's been contributing with goals and assists left, right, and centre. Has been getting forward, doing really well. Andre Ayew, like you say, is way too good for this league. Jamal Lowe has been excellent. Freddie Woodman's been excellent. Mark Guay's been excellent.
We can't ignore the fact that they've conceded 15 goals.
They've conceded half of Brentford's goals. That's the thing. That's what a good defence does for you. You concede half the goals as one of your, competitors to the title, which is why Swansea's goal difference is nearly just as high as Brentford's. Yes, Swansea don't score as many goals, similar to Norwich, but have such a good defensive record. It's unreal, which kind of makes sure their goal difference is high. Norwich is just, when we do go on a bad run of form, we do just tend to ship in goals, and we don't score many. So yeah, but Swansea have been excellent.
They're a very, it's a weird one. I'm looking down their kind of results so far this season. They've not in the league, so we're ignoring this one game in particular of Rotherham in the league. They've not scored more than 2 goals apart from that Rotherham game all season in one game. They've been getting 2-0s, 2-1s, 1-0s, 1-0s, 0-0. They've not scored more than 3 goals. Bar that Rotherham game, which they won away from home 3-1, that's the first game all season in the league they've scored they've scored 3 or more goals in a game.
That was Norwich until yesterday as well. It was the exact same.
And these are teams that are at the top end of the table, but like we said, their defence and Freddie Woodman in goal have been phenomenal.
And they can allow to not.
That's incredible.
They don't have to try and outscore oppositions like Brentford do because of their defence, because of Swansea's defensive ability and record, and they can put a bit more faith into their defence. So if they get that 2-0 lead, they can then just switch on a defensive mode where they know they will be able to see out a clean sheet. And it's if you've got that ability within you, you will do well this season, and they do. And I do believe Swansea will really trouble for that automatic promotion spot. I don't know who will get it out of the 3 there. It's very, very tight to call. I don't think anyone's really running away with it yet. Obviously, all 3 have really shown positive signs, but Swansea, for me, defensively, have just been outstanding.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think that's what's got them to where they are. Brentford and Swansea being the two teams with the least number of losses in the league. Swansea obviously having 2 games as it stands. This is having 2 games in hand on the 2 teams above them. Obviously, they do win those 2 games. They do put themselves top of the league. So it is very, very tight, as we're saying up there. And I mean, I know you disagree with this point. I won't rule out Watford as of yet. Likewise, I really can't rule out any of the kind of top 7 or 8. I'll go as far to say for in terms of getting to the top of the playoffs. And the reason I say that, and I've had this rattling around all of my social medias very, very recently, because obviously the one thing that stands out for me, as of this time in 2012, Reading, who ended up winning the 2011-12 season, were sat in 8th place. We were, I think, about 15 points off the top of the league at that point in time. No one's out of it, especially a season like this. And I really do think we're in for a little surprise as of yet. And speaking of surprises, I think that there could be a few in Swansea's last 6.
Now let's go through it. Josh, tell me what they've got. Let's give our
So
views.
they've got Millwall away.
That's a tricky place to go to, but I think because like you say, Swansea's attack isn't the strongest. They don't score a lot of goals. They will struggle there, and I think it will be a draw.
I could see a 0-0 in that one because, again, Millwall like a draw. They're good at seeing games out. They're good at sitting back, absorbing pressure, and just hitting teams on the counter or hitting them when they least expect it. Then they've got Wickham at home.
That's a resounding win.
They should win it, but you can't not say it's a banana skin. I mean,
it is I think every game's a potential banana skin, though. But against the big sides in this league, I don't like after Wickham's 7-2 loss. Yeah, they beat Huddersfield at the weekend, but I just don't see Wickham really doing anything against the bigger sides in this league. I really don't. I think Swansea will run away winners there. But next up, Josh, go on.
Just to correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just looking at Wickham's kind of results so far this season. The teams that they've beaten are kind of around the bottom.
Yeah.
But if they are still down there, and by that time,
they're gonna be fighting. But I just don't see them doing it against Swansea. Swansea are so good defensively. Like if they don't concede against Norwich, who have they didn't have Buendia, but they had like Todd Cantwell and Pookie still starting. If they can keep a clean sheet against that, I'm not gonna lie. I don't see Wickham's attack really doing that much. But then again, I could be wrong. It's an opinion-based game.
Well, that's the way to see. You never know. Swansea might have an injury crisis by then.
Exactly. If football was playing on paper, we'll be able to call every result. But it's not playing on paper. It's playing on the grass pitch with 2 goalposts at each end. So it's
Indeed.
We can never call it.
On to the next. So Swansea then host QPR at home.
Again, should be a win. But like you say, if QPR are down there fighting, they would want it. But it should be a win. Should be.
Then they travel away down the M4 across to Reading at the Majeski Stadium.
Tough one. That's going to be a tough one because obviously you both going to be fighting if you're still in the round that place. You're still going to be fighting. I guess it comes down to...
They love a win at the Majeski. That's all I'll say. They love a win at the Majeski, and we love a red card against them as well. Then on to their next. They then host Derby in their penultimate game.
Should be a win, but like you say, if Derby are trying to get out of relegation,
Wayne Rooney is doing a very good job down there. So if he carries on, who knows? And final game of the season, they travel away to Watford. That is going to be a huge.
That could be the game of the season. It really could be, but we'll have to.
That could actually decide the automatics, in my opinion.
100%. That literally could. That game itself. But anyway, yeah, Josh, where can people find us?
People can find us on Instagram, on Twitter. Obviously, if you found us here on YouTube, everything will be linked in the description. Drop a comment, let us know what you think. And in the sake of Eden, and I'm only saying that because Fulham have just won a game, tickle the bell, which will be that way, I imagine. Not there. What am I doing?
Well, the bell will be down below. You just got to press it.
No, the little... you can click the button up top, no?
No, that's an iCard. No, it'll be down there. Leave that to me. It'll be down there.
No, but it's always tickle the bell's always up here.
Yeah, well, we tickle the bell up here, but the bell's always down. I'm not going to just go into that. Josh, you're going to just see it out.
Cut. You can edit that bit out if you really want. I don't.
I don't want it. I think it's hilarious.
Brilliant. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in. We've waffled on way too much in this outro. We'll see you for the next one, who will be the team in 4th place at the time of filming.